Go.
Go! So, what time?
Does the quiz open up on Monday?
I'll have to look. But Monday we have the autobiography due, and we do it through file exchange.
Oh, okay.
And then Wednesday we have the quiz. And today I want to talk a little bit about what's on the quiz. Then I want to turn to feminism and dramatism. And we'll loosen this guy, it'll make life easier for you. Feminism and dramatism. And Monday we'll look at George Gerbner and cultivation theory. And then by next Wednesday we'll be on our second textbook, which is Walter Wrong. And that's orality and literacy. Okay, so what's on the quiz? The quiz is the theories that Brummett has promulgated. You can take your book with you. They are essay questions. The theories that Brummett has brought forward in terms of what's a text, how does Brummett construe a text, what kinds of things constitute texts, what kinds of things are not texts, that business about traditional rhetorical messages being discrete, yada yada yada, the non-traditional rhetorical message, and then the theories that he outlines in chapter 4. And then there are 3 questions about Gerbner. Now, you will not get every question. It's a question pool, so not everybody will get every question. So there's a chance that you might not get any questions about Gerbner, but there's a chance you might get 3 questions about Gerbner. There are 3 questions about Gerbner in the question pool, and they're all essay questions. And you'll have plenty of time to work on it, and it won't be in class. It won't take class time. It's an online quiz, which means you can use your book, you can refer to a YouTube video. Some of the Gerbner stuff is on YouTube. You can look again at Wizard of Oz. That's all fair game. But it asks you now to construct out of what we've done some ideas and some answers. It asks you to do some integrative thinking and not just parrot back what you've heard me say or disagree with what you've heard me say. It's asking you to do something constructive in your thinking. Okay? Disagreeing with me is fine. Parroting back is, less fine, but okay. But thinking for yourself and constructing your own thoughts, that's the best. Okay? So we're going to be looking now at feminism and dramatism and Wizard of Oz. Zach, you're the last one in. Feminism, dramatism, and the Wizard of Oz. Before we get to those, though, we need to identify what exactly it is that we're doing. We are not looking at media effects per se. We'll do that when we get to Gerbner. But we're looking at what media creators do and what media creators put into their work.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Excuse me. I had a teacher that made me say excuse me after my hiccups, so I'll start that.
Very good. It'll be on. Hey, it's on the digits. It's all digitized now, so we got it. So, do you think that the creators of Wizard of Oz meant to have this message about workers stay in your place, home's the best place, don't go flirting around with those Marxist guys? Do you think that they meant that on a conscious level?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think they were consciously aware of the message they're necessarily promoting, but I think because of the views of the time, like, that's just what the message is.
And because of the way the creative process works. Mm-hmm. You create out of your own frame of reference, and your frame of reference will always include the views of your time. It's one of the reasons that we're doing a media autobiography. What is the view of your time? So now we're going to come to feminism. Do you think that there really are, quote, feminist messages in The Wizard of Oz? Brummett talks about 2 shapes, the round uterine shape and the erect phallic shape. Do you think that the producers of Wizard of Oz thought in those terms? Melissa, you ventured.
Well, I don't know. I didn't necessarily agree with that as much.
Okay. But do you think that they thought about it in those terms at all?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but I don't know. Maybe part of it is because I feel like things were, I guess, like now we're just like really obvious with like sexual
Right.
innuendos and stuff.
Right.
So I feel like back then
Right.
they weren't.
But think about the creative process. Those of you who write creatively or draw creatively, or do you sit down or make music creative? Do you sit down and go, okay, so now what I need here is a uterine image? No. What do? You go, I need something warm and something that will make people feel enclosed and held on to. I need them. And you don't even think that. You just get to that point. And if you're really in the groove, you go, that feels right. And then maybe later on you look back and go, oh, look, that's a warm place, a warm, dark place. Maybe later on, but while you're doing it, you don't do that. What we're looking at is what the rhetor does, what the creator does, not necessarily what the audience gets. Because did any of the audiences in 1939 get the idea that there may be some phallic symbols? I doubt it. I mean, did anybody in 1939 look at the Cowardly Lion and say the one thing that everyone who watches Wizard of Oz these days says about the Cowardly Lion? The Cowardly Lion is, Joey, say it, you're the only one with guts. The Cowardly Lion in the Wizard of Oz is
Gay.
gay. Gay, 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 gay.
He's gay.
You can't get any more gay. And stereotypically gay. Right? Nobody in 1939 would have thought of that. There were gay people, but nobody thought of it. Nobody called them gay, too. You don't think of it as gay?
I did not. Yeah.
What?
Is
Yeah, I never thought of
afraid
that.
of
I mean,
stuff?
he comes out of the cleanup with a big pink bow on his mane.
Yeah, but I just thought.
And
And
he's
he-
a scaredy cat.
He's the
Yeah.
scaredy cat, and he speaks in what are stereotypically sort of gay phrases, always
his
with
hands.
rising
Yeah,
inflection.
that's like I.
It's a musical.
Yeah,
Like
and even the limp wrist is part of it.
I have gay friends that don't talk like they're
No, that's true.
towards
I'm not
Rex
talk-
and
I'm
don't
not-
wear pink bows.
I'm not
and-
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about what gay people actually
but I'm
do,
just
but the
saying, like,
stereotype.
I never saw, like, now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, he does have a red bow, but I just ignored it. Like, I've never
Right.
thought of that ever when it comes
Yeah.
to.
Well, he's
I
the
haven't thought of
gayest character in musicals.
The lion.
Yeah, but I've never.
Yeah,
thought
so
of it
gay.
as
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was watching the film, I've never watched it before.
Oh, okay.
I just thought,
Gay.
it's the gayest
Gay.
lion I've ever seen in my life.
But it never occurred. It would never occur to somebody in 39 to think that way, nor would it occur to the producers. But this is what the Raiders do. Where does this come from? Where does this kind of thing come from? Where does it come from? What do you do as a creator when you're putting something in and you decide to leave it there? When you put something into music, when you put something into words, when you put something into a drawing and you decide to leave it there, what's your thought as a creator? As a creative person, Liz, what did I ask you when you made that cross at the end of Act 1 when Sarah disappears?
Does it work?
I didn't even ask you that.
Oh,
I asked you,
how it felt?
yeah, did that feel right? And you said,
Yeah.
yeah. And that, I think, is how we act as creators and even as rhetors, as speakers. We act from the gut. We act from, does that feel right? Does that feel like it belongs there? And part of the journey of becoming a better speaker, or part of the journey of becoming a better artist, is that journey of learning what actually works and what feels right in the right places. And you grow and you learn that. And I think that that's what we see. But as we do an analysis, we're looking at things that the creator probably didn't think were there. But they're there. So what are some of the phallic symbols in The Wizard of Oz? Brummett points them out. Some very phallic things.
Well, the city of Oz itself.
Yeah. I look at Oz, and you know what I think of? Grain elevators.
Yeah.
I think grain elevators. And I actually think Baum and possibly the people who made the movie, Mervyn LeRoy, may have thought grain elevators. But it's very phallic stuff, going straight up. What are other phallic symbols in our society? In architecture. The biggest phallic symbol in architecture. It's the skyscraper. What's the skyscraper a symbol of?
Power.
Power, money. It's the power and money of the city, right? So when Mies van der Rohe is doing his drawings, Mies is like the last modernist. Do you think Mies is going, oh, I want it to look like a penis? No. Mies is going, I want this to house many people in a very functional building where everything is minimal and it goes straight into the sky as a way of conquering the sky. He did think that far. Right? What are some of the feminine images that Brummett points out? How does Glenda the Good arrive?
In a bubble.
In a bubble. How does the wizard go back to Kansas?
A balloon.
What's a balloon like?
Round.
Like a bubble. What rescues the Wizard of Oz? If the Wizard of Oz had stayed in Oz and not gone back to Kansas, what would have been discovered about the Wizard of Oz?
He wasn't really a wizard.
That he's humbug, right? So he is, in a sense, saved by his balloon trip. And the balloon is masculine or feminine? It's feminine. It's that round, warm, curvy space. Now, where is the liminal character? Who has a nice round symbol, but is also encased in lots of pointy verticality. Nice round symbol encased in lots of pointy verticality. Who sees Aunt Em back in the farm looking for Dorothy? And Dorothy looking for Aunt Em? And who cackles? And your dog Toto, too.
The Wicked Witch.
It's the Wicked Witch. She also participates in the feminine, but she's a liminal character in that she also participates in the masculine. Right? What's her castle like?
Tall and pointy.
Lots of turrets. Lots of turrets. Lots of things going up. Where is Dorothy kept? Not in a dungeon, but in the tower. The final battle takes place up in the tower, in the power space, in the masculine space. Now, what does this tell you about how women are treated? How are strong women treated in The Wizard of Oz?
Like men.
No, not like men. The only strong women are who? Who are the strong women in the Wizard of Oz?
Aunt Em.
You have who?
Aunt Em.
Aunt Em, possibly. Dorothy, possibly. Glenda, and Wicked Witch of the West. Are there any other women who are named? You have the Witch of the East, but we don't see her. She's just a pair of shoes. Right? You have 4 women in this whole show, and the rest of it is all men. There are women
The bicycle
In-
lady, what's her name? She's named.
Yes,
Mrs.
Miss Gooch.
Yeah.
And where does she end up? She's the Wicked Witch of the West, right?
But she's named.
And she's also a very powerful woman. And what does M say to her? What's the conversation between M
About a
and
Christian
Miss Gooch? Something about
She's
a Christian
just
lady.
Because you own half the county doesn't mean you have to. That I don't remember.
Right, just because you own half the county.
doesn't mean you can control me or
Oh,
something.
Right,
yeah, that-
right. Okay? So we'll come back to what Miss Gooch is and what the Wicked Witch of the West is. So you've got essentially still got 4 characters because Gooch is the same as the Wicked Witch of the West. You have 4 female characters in this whole movie. There are some females in Oz. What do?
Work in the beauty.
Hair.
They work in the beauty parlor. They work, what else do? They polish the Tin Woodsman. What else do? They are frightened characters in town square when the witch comes over. And that's all the women we
They
see.
shriek and run away.
They shriek and run away. So it's domestic help, shriek and run away, and then you've got these 4 female exemplar. Let's deal with the truly strong women, the obvious strong woman, and that's the Wicked Witch of the West. What happens to a strong woman? What must she be?
Evil.
Crazy.
Evil. Right?
Everybody hates her.
Everybody hates her. A woman, strong woman who seems to be somewhat evil that everybody hates is often called?
Witch?
Thank
Oh.
you. You just switch one letter. Right? Is this what has been the design for women? If you are strong, what do people think of Hillary Clinton? What do people think of Hillary Clinton?
Most are not.
I think I have a different opinion than everyone else, so
No, but what is the general opinion of Hillary Clinton?
that she's a bitch and no one likes
There
her.
you go. That she's a bitch, and no one's why.
Because she's a strong,
Because she's
powerful
a
woman.
strong, powerful woman. It really hasn't changed all that much from 1939 to 2013.
Oh. Do you
Strong,
want me to-
powerful women.
Do you want me to pause it and try
Yeah,
to? Okay.
start a new one.
Okay.